Dan Pinkowski here with the International Martial Art and Cultural Center. I want to talk about a couple things. We have a trip coming up in August to Korea, if anybody would be interested in it. We'll to give you more details on the web. But today I have a special guest, Gary J. Kleiman, who has Qigong.com. He's been doing Tai Chi and Qigong for about 50 years. And we're going to be talking about Shuai Jiao Tai Chi and the relationship. And we're going to be getting into some Shuai Jiao techniques. With that said, I'm going to introduce Gary. Gary's going to kind of come up here and tell us a little bit about Shuai Jiao and Tai Chi and Qigong. And I'm going to step back and give the camera to him.
All right. Well, I'm Gary Kleiman, as he said. I've been practicing temple-style Tai Chi for 50 years. And I learned, when I was a student of Master Liao, he brought in Chang Tsung Sheng from Taiwan. So I got introduced to what was supposed to be Chang-style Tai Chi, but it was actually Shuai Jiao. But we didn't know the difference. He didn't speak any English, and Liao translated everything. So we learned the 10 basic techniques: arrow and bow twist, kicking, certain things that were very similar to Tai Chi, but not Tai Chi. Now the difference between Tai Chi and Shuai Jiao is external and spiral, and Tai Chi, my Tai Chi, is internal and uses Jing. So when I 3 years later, met Daniel Long at a demonstration we were both doing, I recognized what he was doing on stage, and I said, I know that, I've seen that before. And it turns out he studied with Chang Tsung Sheng. He was one of his most famous students. So 2 days later, he came to my school, and we played pretty rough, and I held up quite well. However, I still had no throwing skills, so I started studying with one of his students who wrote the book, The Fundamentals of Shuai Jiao, and he became my student at the same time. He's been my student since 1980. So the difference between Shuai Jiao and Tai Chi is upright, it's connected to the ground, there's no sweeping, and in Shuai Jiao, even the fundamentals are leaning forward and twisting. That's the first 10 things you'll learn is what the whole art is based on, period. So, when you practice Tai Chi, it looks like Tai Chi. It's got arrow and bow, it's connected to the ground, but when you do Shuai Jiao, it's awkward, it's twisting, because you're going to be throwing somebody over your back. So you're leaning in the direction that you're going to be throwing. Dan, come here. So, in Shuai Jiao, in Tai Chi, the angle is straight, the angle to the ground. But I fought a Thai boxer in a restaurant in 1977, and I threw him 3 different times, and he kept getting up. So I decided, something's not right here. So what I did was I pitched my Tai Chi toward the ground. I'd already been doing Tai Chi. I never did Shuai Jiao yet. But what happened was when I pitched to the ground, the person goes short to the ground. They don't just run it off 10 feet, 20 feet. They just don't fall back on their heels and keep bouncing. So Shuai Jiao helped me become a thrower without really going through the ranks to do it. I have a student who's a 7th degree black belt in Shuai Jiao who's been practicing my practices, Qigong and Neigong and Tai Chi, since 1994. So the idea I'm talking about is it goes angular. Bam. I don't fall anymore. We're both too old.
We're the 70-year-old Jurassic.
All right, get up. So what I'm talking about is when you
Hey,
throw.
what you have?
Oh, it's okay. Give me the young guy. When you throw, it's like this. It's angular. It's down. It doesn't look like judo. It doesn't look like hapkido. It's got its own flavor. It's all down, unless it's over the top, which I'm not prepared to demonstrate. And when you practice Shuai Jiao, there's belt cracking. Give me your belt. There's standing forms. So, for instance, I'm in the frame all right? All right, so you practice this way. Because what this is for is connecting and thrusting. So you don't just throw. You can do belt cracking because you have to coordinate. And it's not like Taekwondo or karate where you're practicing punching, because everything in Shuai Jiao is grabbing for a throw. And you learn how to fall, which we can't do anymore because we're too old.
Yeah. Both of us are in the 70s, so we've taken a bazillion hits.
All right, so the videos are great. We can do this. What do you want to tell them?
Well, we're going to go ahead and finish this one off as an introduction. And then what we're going to do is have the 10 basic techniques, and we'll show them individually how they're done standing in form, and then how they're used in throwing.
All right, let me give you a Tai Chi version of a Shuai Jiao practice. It's called elbow locking. So you grab the wrist and catch the elbow. Grab the wrist and catch the elbow. Grab the wrist, catch the elbow. Now in Tai Chi, it's called play pipa. Not the same, but close enough. That's how I was able to remember all the practices, because they all sort of resembled Tai Chi. All right.
Okay.
Thank you very much.